creepy basement time with the Chedds Bitz. Yeah, so this is gonna be pretty much the weirdest thing that I've ever done. I'm in my basement right now, which is pretty much one of the scariest places in the world. But this is where I'm going to start my talk show. The Chedd Bitz. The Chedd Bitz. The Chedd Bitz, aka also known as AKA is also known as Chedds, welcome to Cheddar. What am I saying? What am I saying? Welcome to Chedd's Bitz, which is also known as the best bits. That's what I was going for. This is where I talk about whatever I want to talk about. And what I want to talk about is the economy. How about that economy? What I would like to talk about is me. Because I have a large ego with a big personality and I like to sustain and feed that as much as possible. My life can pretty much be summed up in these little figurines right here. See, I have a whole lot of my body and I have a whole lot of love. Well, it started with me coming into the world just like that. That's how it's done, boys and girls. And it's like, oh, I think I'm gonna name you Ethan. That's my mom's voice, and my dad could covertly intertwined, making one voice, which that's what it would sound like. This is me, this is my heart. That is what the world has done. It's torn about 1/4 of it off. Which is pretty good, I still got, 3/4 left. I'm just gonna put my heart back into its pocket. And I'm gonna put that back in my body. I think this show's going pretty good so far, wouldn't you say, studio audience? Yay! They're still clapping. They're still clapping. Now is the part of the show where I tell you a story. It's my story, known as the Cheddar story. Back when I was a little cheddar, a young curdle, I would say I was about 9 years old. My mother invited another mother over who brought her child with her, which is what coincidentally made her a mother. And this child and I, who had never really met before, I'd seen him before, but we haven't really met, were supposed to bond. James bond. I was very sharing and caring with my toys, and I understood the situation, and like a cool guy, I let him play with the pirate ship. We went to the park. We went to the playground at the park. Specifically, when I was a young curdle, I was quite a rather fragile child, like socially. It's not because I was homeschooled, okay? I was homeschooled, but it's not the point. I've integrated well with society, says the guy in his basement. Back to the story. The playground was empty, which, empty playgrounds, empty spaces out in public were like gold when I was a child, because that means I didn't have to interact with people. Yes. Thank you. That means me and my friend were able to roam and prance about the wonders of the jungle gym, which, I might add, was themed quite like a fort. And when they're themed like forts, well then, you have even better times as a child because you think you're actually in a cool fort. I remember being on the top ramparts, leaning over on the edge, examining the kingdom of, pretty sure there was a drug deal going over in the parking lot. But anyways, thus aside, my subjects were dealing and I was the king of the castle. When all of a sudden, I was sieged. A rock out of nowhere came flinging. It came hurling at my face. That is better. That is a better word to use. This rock came hurling at my face, but it missed. Because I have a very aerodynamic face. It was a little bit more full back then, but I think it still was about the same size because it's still grown, but yet it shrunk and kind of narrowed. The point is, the rock missed, okay? I remember glancing off the railing, the handrails. My hands were resting on the rail, and the rock, what happened? I looked down at my land, at my courtyard, and what was standing in my courtyard? A troll of a boy. This boy was troll-like. His features were trollish. In this situation, he was a fiend. He was trollish. He was trollish. And with him, a companion of significantly smaller stature assisted him in moral support. I don't know, he really wasn't doing anything. He was just following him around. I remember him shouting his war cries at me. Hey kid, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna beat you up. I swear, I did nothing. I didn't know who this kid was. I didn't know him. And those were really close. It was a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. He was like, hey, I'm gonna come up there and beat you up. He sounded just like that. I think he had something messed up in his throat. He was ascending onto my fortress. Ascending. And I remember standing up there like, oh, what do I do? My instincts started to kick in. What everything about, right? Survival, flight, or fight. And so that's when I took a deep breath in. I was, yes, I prepared myself mentally, emotionally, and physically, metaphysically, for what was about to happen. This troll of a child was assaulting my base. I knew just what to do. I gathered up all the strength I could and I ran with the might of 1,000 lions down the whole chute with chains and a tire at the bottom for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they made that design choice, but probably because it was cheaper. But I remember getting my foot tangled in the chain and him coming up the mouth of the slide. That's what it's called, a slide. Running down and meeting me at the bottom because I had just gotten free. I was confronted face to face. We were like this. Like this. Close. For purposes, this will be the representation of the bully. Hey kid, I'm gonna beat you up. No you won't. Yes I will. And he pushed me with the might of 1,000 cyclopses. I remember flinging back, both legs in air, kicking, arms. I stretched probably the length of a couple football fields. Not really, I didn't even leave the air. That was called over-exaggeration. I don't know why I did that. I flung and I hit the pole in my head. It really hurt. I bet if it had just been a few newtons of force stronger, I probably wouldn't be alive to tell the tale today. It really wasn't that bad. Didn't even get bruised. But anyways, the mere shock the mere shock that someone would bully me. I was such a kind child. I had done nothing to this boy, and he just shoved me into the pole. Here comes the cavalry. My newly made friend decided to come in as reinforcements. Me, tears starting to form in my eyes. Just starting, I didn't actually cry, I had just well lubricated eyeballs. My newly made friend quickly became blood brother. Although he was little, and much littler than I, and I was pretty little, he came charging in, head first, with the technique of 1,000 Taekwondo students of black belt, flailing his arms, charging at the bully. His reactions were still so pristine, so thunderously, anyways, the bully reacted and shoved him sideways into the pole. He literally brushed him aside, like if he was nothing but a feather in the wind. He hit the pole as well, and it was time it was time to call in the guardians. Our mothers were sitting close by. That's pretty much it. They didn't do anything because the kid ran, and we kind of just sat on the swings close to our moms after that. And that is the mighty battle. This was really stupid.